The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag tncnow.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Mabuhay to the new channel. We are a community born out of passion to help you be the new you. This is King Gonzalez streaming live from the biggest city in the metro, Quezon City. And we thank you for streaming also live at the second episode of the season 2 of Realty Realities. Yun, no? Hello again, once again, good afternoon to all our viewers, to those who are streaming us live from different parts of the world. Mabuhay kayong lahat. So, kamusta po ang inyong linggo? How was the week? Or how has it been until this Saturday? Kamusta ang benta? Marami ba tayong benta dyan? Ano po? Oh yeah, meron namang bentang pumapasok. Yes, that's what you want to hear. I know that it's difficult times, 'di ba? If you don't know that it's difficult times, that it's the pandemic, saan po kayo galing? All right, so we're still in pandemic, and as I was surfing the Facebook, I read somewhere there yesterday that it says that these are not normal times. So if you are expecting normal results, then you are a little bit crazy. Kumbaga, yes, it is good for us companies, for us brokers, for investors to set targets, no? Ako nga, in my own company, I still set high targets. But at the end of the day, I come to a realization, nga pala, it's COVID. So people are still scared to go out. Brokers are still scared to go out for oculars. There are investors who are still scared to go out also to check on properties that are being offered to them. Diba? That's understandable. So we need to set our expectations a bit lower. Diba? If we don't get the ideal normal results that we are eyeing for. It's understandable. Pat yourself kung ano. But what's important also is that we give our best in our efforts in selling the properties of our clients. Diba? If we don't get or if you don't achieve the results that we want, again, pat yourself at the back. King, you tried. You tried hard and you tried well. All right. This afternoon, we're still trying to paint a rosy picture, albeit we painted it a bit dark last Saturday. Mamaya malalaman nyo as we do our recap. But before we go to the recap, we wanted to invite everybody that Realty Realities, the second season, is better and brighter. Why? Tanong nyo, bakit? Kasi we're not just inviting guests for interviews, but we've also added trivia questions. And the trivia question for this afternoon, tan 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 tan, ano muna mapapalanunan? If you get the correct answer for the trivia question, you'll win for yourself a free webinar to How to Become an Ultimate Ahente by Mr. Bobit. Tama, no? By Sir Bobit. So, Emmanuel Santos. So, the webinar is this Saturday, this coming Saturday, and it will teach you different secrets. Ito, I got a brief of what they'll be teaching you in this session. Sasabihin ko na lang verbatim para hindi tayo ma-accuse of inventing words. The webinar imparts field-tested and surefire sales strategies and techniques that si Sir Bobit, and my sales superstar friends executed in their experiences. Also, it is the only webinar that discusses at length ito gusto ko to. A scientific approach to selling. Yan, kailangan natin mga brokers yan. Done properly, this method contributes to efficiency and allows for predictability and replicability of sales results. These, aside from the fact that the speaker has almost 3 decades, para namang hindi naman halata Sir Bobit, of experience exposure to sales as a sales and marketing head of sales training, and an ultimate ahente himself. So, ano ba yung trivia question? So, yung trivia question ay, ano nga ba? Okay, eto lang. If you've been listening to our season 1 episodes, one of the episodes we talked about EJS. Okay? EJS. So, what is EJS in real estate lingo? Is it, may choices ulit. Is it A, extrajudicial selling? B, extrajudicial settlement? Or C, extrajudicial system? Nag-i-invento. So, what is the answer? Wag naman yung letters lang, please naman. I remember in school, diba, we were asked to write down the letters, but we're not in school anymore. We have to know what the definition of EJS is. Is it system? Is it selling? Or is it settlement? So if you get the answer right, the first answer to post on the comment section is down here. If you're on YouTube, please switch over to the Facebook because we can't see the answers from the YouTube. So switch over to the Facebook link and then put in the comment section your answer to the question. All right? So, and then we'll give the answer and the prize before the end of the show. Okay, hindi lang yan, guys. We also have a free webinar from Rebap Makati. Para saan? Ano ba yung webinar na yan? It's for emerging cities And we'll pull up the poster in a bit. Makukuha nyo po yung free webinar na yan if you, ang dali lang, mag-post lang po kayo ng question nyo, again, in the comment section of our page, and you'll get the webinar of Rebap Makati Emerging Cities, which will be held on Thursday. So we're trying to look for the poster, and then we'll just post it up later at the gap so that you will see it. So it's there. It's being flashed there. So let me just read it up for you. It's Emerging Cities, the new wave of real estate growth in the Philippines. Bagay na bagay sa talk natin yan. Will be done by Honorable Pilar M. Torres Banaag, who is the PIBRES board member. It will be held on September 23, that's a Thursday, in the morning. And the bonus here is it's CPD. It has 4 CPD units. So kung broker kayo and then you're aiming to renew, kaya na po, meron na po. Hope you win. Just simply by just posting a question on the comments portion of our screen. All right. So emerging cities, no? Emerging cities. And last week we talked about, hindi naman siya all bleak eh. It's not all bleak because like what Aaron Pritchard of KMC Saville said, the residential market is still moving, right? Hindi naman sa natigil ang mundo and there aren't any sales in the residential markets. In fact, on the upside, Aaron even said that taking it's funny because I cited to him, Aaron, if I have 15 million to invest in property, in buying a property, what should I get? You know what Aaron's answer was? King, can you heighten up your budget to about 100 million? And I was surprised. Sabi ko, hindi bakit? Kasi British eh. So why? And the guy said, King, because we are getting increase for 100 million up properties in Ayala, Alabang, as well as in Forbes Park, Makati. Pandemic? 100 million properties and up? Diba? So there is still market for selling and for buying. So ngayon, on the office side, which was also presented to us by CBRE last week, there was a bit of, I would say, not so good, diba? Because there were a lot of office spaces were vacant. And we didn't have much time last Saturday to talk about, sige, there are office vacancies. What do we do with it? Because I think that's what people like you guys, like the brokers, like the office building owners, like the agentes would like to hear, especially from a big company such as CBRE. Ano ang isa-suggest namin sa mga clients namin na merong vacant office spaces? And here this afternoon to expound on those, for a round 2, the country head of CBRE, it's a real estate firm which is regarded the best for 2021 by Fortune magazine. He is the country head, Mr. Jie Espinosa. Jie.
Hi, King. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me here again.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you, Jie. This is the first time also that we've re-invited a guest immediately after he showed up for the episode. And as I posted it, nabitin kasi kami. It's not just me, no, but I got texts also from some people who asked, "Hey King, medyo bitin kasi we just focused on the negative side," which we didn't. Pero nag-aabol kasi tayo ng oras eh. So just a recap, for those who didn't catch last week's episode, ito yung sinabi ni G that caught the attention of people. And then for this 5 minutes, no, I'd like G to go expound on some of these points. So to start off, he said that 728,000 square meters of vacated office spaces in the last 12 months. G, anong gagawin natin doon? What are these? What are these first?
Okay, so King, I just want to put things in context because yes, the number is quite big and the number is quite concerning. However, does that mean to say that companies are living in droves? Umaalis ba sila? They're ceasing to operate, with the exception probably of the Chinese online gaming companies that have really terminated their leases in a permanent way, and that's what drove the number really quite high. All of those
Mm-hmm.
companies are still here; they're still operating. So,
Oh, they're still here.
yeah,
They're
so
still here. Okay,
yeah, so the
okay.
BPO companies, this is part of what I was trying to show last time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In the demand slide that I flashed last time, as soon as the lockdown happened, what drove the market? What was the demand that we're seeing in the market for
Mm-hmm.
early stages of the lockdown, second to third, perhaps early fourth quarter? What we predominantly saw in the market is outsourcing companies that continued to grow. Are those all in Metro Manila? Some of them in Fort Bonifacio, some of them, most of them in the provinces, in
Mm-hmm.
areas like Iloilo. I think I pointed this out last week that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the brightest spots that we have in the country is probably the growth of the office market and the outsourcing sector in Iloilo. That's
Yeah, yeah,
primarily
you did.
because the local government there and the developers have created an environment that's really conducive for all of these companies to leverage on the wealth of the labor pool that's available in that market, that's available in that province.
All right.
So it's not entirely bad. I really want to stress that our multinational companies are still here. The BPO companies are still here. Of course, with all of the things that have happened ever since the lockdown and with the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, still upon us, of course, you can't blame these companies to recalibrate the way they approach office use, no? The way they look at office take up. But are they giving up leases? No, they're still here. They're operating. They've recalibrated. They've adjusted the amount of space that they took up, primarily because they're dealing with work from home arrangements with their
Mm-hmm.
employees, hybrid work from home arrangements, but they're still here.
I see, I see. And then I think what's smart about it was you had a slide which spoke about rental discounts. And I suppose that's related to because they want to retain these tenants in their office buildings, in your clients' office buildings. That's why they've given such rental discounts, right?
Mhm. Correct.
Tama yan, no? And
Correct.
I was even surprised to see like as high as 30% rental discounts are given in some instances in say Makati, no? Yeah, because here in Quezon City, that's also been in effect in commercial spaces. So, but I haven't really heard of as big as 30%. So, what I've heard and even experienced for myself is 25% rental discount. And I guess it's really to show to the tenants that the landlords or the office building owners are still to take after, to take care of their tenants na kailangan namin kayo and
Mm.
we are ready to cooperate with you. Yeah, but on the I saw another slide there. Why is it that it's even though we've mentioned about emerging demand drivers, pero dun sa forecast nyo, you've still seen or you still saw about close to, is it a million? No, or not close, but 1 million office vacancies from the period of 2022 to 2025. How is that so?
Oh, okay. Let me just try to put that into context. The amount of space that you saw last week from me, that will
Mm-hmm.
grow to roughly around 1.6 million square meters by the end of the year, King. That's primarily because this early we're seeing some of the companies already say we're gonna pre-terminate some of our spaces, some of our
Okay.
vacancies, some of our floors, no? And at the same time, syempre, you have to take into account the office projects that will be completed by specific quarters, no? So both of those factors combined, you consider it. So the vacancy, the availability could actually go to up to 1.6 million square meters. How
Mm-hmm.
about the period between 2022 forward? I think I also noted this last week when we spoke. No, there are a lot of office spaces that's programmed to be completed between 2022 and
Uh,
2023. But I
okay.
also pointed out that most of those office spaces have been pre-leased prior to the pandemic. So the office projects that you're seeing in Fort Bonifacio that are about to be completed, a lot of them, King, have already been signed up by outsourcing companies, shared services companies prior to the pandemic. So by the time that they get completed, hopefully the situation has improved. People are ready to go back to the office. Those office buildings will be occupied.
Yon. Kita mo, G, you know now why you were invited over for a second time around.
Yeah.
Because if I was just to do a recap of the discussions we had last week and then do it now without having you to expound and to explain, 'di ba, the context to it. Kaya mali,
No,
guys.
but I don't wanna downplay the gravity of the situation,
Yeah,
King.
yeah, yeah.
Of course, all of these things happening is really a function of us having all of these challenges, diba? The
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
lockdowns, the escalating number of cases on a daily basis.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, is it unique to the Philippines? No, I mean, every office market in the region have different ways of going back to what they say is normal. And some of them might be more accelerated than us, primarily because the vaccination rollouts in their countries have been quicker and more effective. But does that mean to say that what you're seeing right now are all ghost town offices here in the metro? To a certain extent, yes, they're relatively empty kasi syempre work from home yung mga tao. We're under
Yeah,
some
yeah,
form of lockdown, no?
yeah,
But
true.
that's not unique to the Philippines. So is every other office market out there right now.
Okay. So, hindi pala, hindi tayo nag-iisa. No?
Mm.
We are all in the same ship experiencing difficulties when it comes to office vacancies. And, well, the truth behold is we still have a lot of them. But after the break, we will ask G naman, how do we fill in a little bit of these vacancies? What are the demand drivers? And what's to expect from the different sectors who might be able to provide us the tenants for these office spaces? So, just hang on to your seats. We'll be back after a few reminders from our sponsors.
More than steel and glass. More than square footage and four walls. More than facilities and floor plans. Today, more than ever, we see more. We see dimensions others can't, from perspectives others don't. More productivity, flexibility, and employee well-being. Opportunity to invest in the future. Potential in every business, in every space, in every person. Insights that transform. Because the more perspectives we have, the more dimensions we see.
A good Saturday afternoon once again. You guys are back here at Realty Realities, where we talk about anything and everything under the sun about real estate here in the Philippines. So this afternoon, we're talking to Mr. Jie Espinosa. Let's bring him in. While we're bringing in Mr. Espinosa, we just wanted to thank your support because we already have a winner. A winner for the webinar to the Ultimate Agente, or how to become a Ultimate Agente. That's September 25, next Saturday. Si Mr. Daniel Moricho. And he just wanted to be sure. That's why he even posted his answer twice. So sorry you don't win 2 slots. You only win 1 slot, but congratulations still, because your answer is correct and you've won yourself an Ultimate Agente webinar. Tapos meron pa po yung bonus na book, because the Ultimate Agente was actually conceived as a book and now it's a webinar. Congratulations, Mr. Daniel Moricho. Extrajudicial settlement, right? Okay, so let's bring back Mr. Jie Espinosa just to continue on with our conversation. There's no presentation slides this afternoon. Uy! Uy! Where am I? Where am I? Oh, I'm there. Hello, hello. It's 98 days before Christmas. So TNC has a countdown also. It started with the 100 days. No, buti na lang hindi si Jose Marichan, iniba naman natin. Yan, it's 98 days before Christmas. Are you going to bring in Mr. G also to take a peek?
No.
Yan. First. No, silip some more.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. All right, thank you guys. So things are looking bright because it's 98 days to Christmas. And just to express how things are looking bright, we wanted to ask Sir G. Sir G, what are the demand drivers naman? We're talking about vacated office spaces. Ano ba ang pwede natin kuning mga tenants para naman mabuno yung vacant spaces? Because, I was doing my numbers, G, and it's no joke having, those vacancies, because ang dali when you're talking about square meters, right? But talking to landlords as property owners, they'll talk to you about cents and money, and they'll say, King, 1,000 per square meter yung average rate niyang 728,000. So, and our duty as brokers, as you guys, brokerage firms, how do we replenish or how do we sinabi mo hindi naman lahat ng 728 di ba? Babalikan pa yan ng mga ng BPOs. They're just taking a break because they're working from home. But meron pa ring natitirang office spaces. So, what are the demand drivers, G?
King, if you look around you, there have been a couple of industries that's really, drove the demand in this market over the last decade. But first and foremost of them has been the outsourcing industry. They were the ones who placed us in a good position to really generate employment for our people and to really get into that boom phase all throughout the past decade. So, I think most of the developers really need to focus on that. I said during the last episode that, we encourage the developers to be more pragmatic in the way that they approach deal structuring with these types of companies. But at the same time, they need to. We encourage them that they use this time to really reinvest in the property. A lot of the developers are now realizing the importance of investing in sustainability in their properties, making sure that the health and safety of employees who work within the office spaces are put as primary consideration. So this is the time for them to reinvest in that. We're seeing more developers look into that more closely now because ultimately that will play a big part in encouraging all of our employees to go back to the office and to spur development all over again. And I'm only hoping that we put as much support to the outsourcing industry all over again. I know that for quite a while, just before the pandemic, we looked at other sectors to diversify the market, and rightly so. But now that we've seen that some sectors fueled the wrong kind of growth in the market, we look back at the outsourcing industry again. What can we really do to support it? I hope that ultimately the government can revisit that moratorium on PEZA accreditation for Metro Manila, so that the outsourcing companies, the BPO companies, the contact centers will have more choices in terms of real estate in Metro Manila because there continues to be a demand for the premium quality talent that they're getting in Metro Manila. And with all of the infrastructure that's being planned out in the city over the next 5 to 7 years, it's best that we encourage growth in all of the sub-districts, not just in premium sub-districts like Makati and Fort Bonifacio.
Yeah, thanks, G. Like what you said, no, BPOs and then go back to the office, kagaya mo on a Saturday. So you're in the office right now. BPOs, I've got some crazy thoughts, and I'd like you to answer if it's possible, because, well, for one, I'm a crazy person. I think crazy things in terms of creating demand for supply. Now, and one of those, which I told you earlier before the show, is it possible, say, for storage companies, because they take up a lot of spaces. When they ask us about spaces, they'll say about 2,000 square meters of office building space, even as big as 5,000. So parang naisip ko lang, is there a possibility of a storage space eating up available BPO spaces in the not so prime office buildings? Is that a possibility?
You know, this might partly answer your question. When the lockdown happened at the height of the situation last year, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the developers faced huge vacancies in their mall spaces.
Yeah.
Primarily yung the ones that were allocated for department stores. Some of those spaces got picked up by logistics companies, primarily because there was just a relative lack of available spaces in the market. So that just goes to show, repurposing certain spaces just to be able to fill in vacancies. So is that gonna be? Are we going to see more of that in the future? Probably, but ultimately, does it really, put us in a good position from a long-term perspective? I'd like to go back to my point last week. The fact remains that we don't have quality spaces for those emerging sectors that we have. We can't keep, just looking at stopgap solutions for them, because ultimately the way that they will grow is that they have access to viable spaces for their operations. And that's why it's really important that the developers recognize this, so that there will be more space that's going to be available for companies that are seeking to come in, and
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
will actually spur growth over the next few years in those emerging sectors.
Well, I guess yung gusto kong banggitin dun sa what you mentioned is I was happy when you said stopgap because it meant that you are really looking positively at what's gonna happen. Probably not for the rest of 2021, but for
Mm.
the latter parts of 2022 onwards. Because the way I see it, you're looking that it's going to be back to normalcy, right? That's
Oh, and
why
I think, for me, that's just physics of demand,
uh-huh.
King.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we can't stay this way.
All right.
We have to look at we have to look ahead, diba?
Uh-huh.
So I
Uh-huh.
know that it's challenging right now. We can't be impatient about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have to look at this in a more deliberate manner. Hindi mo pwedeng ora-orada pababalikin yung mga tao sa opisina without
Okay.
putting all of the
Okay.
safety measures in place, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully over the next few months, that combination of us, doing the vaccination rollout more effectively, and hopefully with the situation easing, especially the
Mm-hmm.
Delta variant, more and more companies are bound to look at things in a different way. In fact, right now, as we speak, sometimes I am amazed na even with all of the lockdowns happening, we still
Mm-hmm.
see our clients persist to look at spaces, to view spaces. And some of those outsourcing companies go to such lengths na no, I want to do a virtual tour just to be able to look at it, because behind that insistence is also a set of clients that are urging them to look for growth, no? And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ultimately, as the situation eases up in the US,
Mm-hmm.
as that economy roars back to life, we
Mm-hmm.
will be the beneficiaries of that, because a lot of the
Uh-huh.
outsourcing companies that support all of those industries, companies, and those requirements in the US, retail
Yep.
coming back to life, all of the other sectors in
Yep.
industries, revisiting growth all over again, they will have a natural trickle down effect on the outsourcing industry here. And
Okay.
to a certain extent, we're already seeing it. The biggest wealth for us is really our people. They're here. They persevere. Even if it was challenging for the most part during the past year, they
Yeah.
continued to work from home, and they delivered exceptional results despite the circumstances. And that is what's
Wow.
impressing all of these outsourcing companies still. And ultimately, we will be well placed to recover. as the situation eases globally.
At that juncture, palakpakan naman natin na yung mga people in the BPO sectors, people who are in the call centers, di ba? With that, talagang you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Even the difficulties of work from home and then taking on the calls, working. Ay,
That's
challenging
not a
yan.
small thing,
Yeah.
King. Repeatedly, we ask our clients, why do you continue to grow? Are you experiencing dips in terms of productivity? You get surprised. A lot of these
Mm-hmm.
companies say, despite the circumstances, the Filipino BPO player has done extremely well, even working from home where the situation is quite tight. Some of them would be in multi-family setups,
Yeah,
diba?
yeah,
Some of the
yeah.
companies, they really went through such lengths as sending workstations at home just to be able to support that. But they were
That's
able
right.
to push through, and productivity was maintained despite the pandemic and the lockdown happening.
O sige G, babalikan ko ulit yung tanong ko. Kasi, di ba, we're able to adjust, like BPOs were able to adjust to adversities by sending work from home and then workstations. Ngayon naman, dun sa tanong ko kanina, na is it possible for the not so graded, di ba, buildings to think first na, ay, baka hindi ko mapaupa ulit tong, say, 2,000 square meters ko dito sa JP Rizal. O, di ba? Halimbawa, JP Rizal na lumang building. Can can he or she think of, o sige, I'll go to the storage companies and then ask them for possible leasing opportunities?
Medyo
Would you think
mahirap
that's
lang from
ano?
a technical standpoint, King, no? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're making a very specific example about storage spaces, perhaps cold
Yeah,
storage kanina based on
yeah,
what we were talking about.
yeah.
I mean, for a building that's in JP Rizal, that's probably a boutique developer, and the amount of
Mm-hmm.
investment that's gonna come in to just repurpose
Mm-hmm.
that space from an office setup is gonna be extremely huge. And
Oh
then
yeah, yeah. Because you're
ultimately,
saying about repurposing it. Because there
yeah.
is a need for it to be altered to suit
Yeah.
storage
Yeah.
spaces. I see. I see. Okay. Well, with that in mind, it's still possible, but there is a cost involved in
Yeah,
repurposing.
and oftentimes a lot of I'm just gonna talk about
Yeah.
most
Go ahead.
developers in this market at this stage, no. A lot of the boutique developers are taking a more measured approach, and I think to a certain extent you really can't blame them, King, because of the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just before the pandemic, every year the amount of new supply that came into the market was just so huge. And I myself, parang dizzying heights lagi ang nakikita mo na nadadagdag.
Yeah.
More and more business owners were looking at participating in the booming real estate market. Um, I think ultimately this allows us to strike a balance so that
Mm-hmm.
ultimately
Mm-hmm.
everybody gets to participate properly, and we get to the right set of rates. We push the right set of real estate products into the market.
Mm-hmm.
We really allow for occupiers to benefit and leverage on what is available in the market.
I see. I see. That's why you mentioned even before the break yata that there is still inquiries for office sharing companies because they also foresee the demand for well serviced office spaces, right?
Yep, and you see it. It's not just flight to quality now, King. It's really
Mm-hmm.
flight to value.
Okay,
Uh,
all right.
there is
I
really
like
a
that. I like
clamor
that.
for,
Flight to value. All right.
yeah, there's really a clamor for well-built spaces.
Uh huh.
I can name really specific examples, but I don't wanna be unfair to the rest of the market. But
All
you
right.
know,
All right.
time and again, we see our clients sign up leases in buildings that might be a little bit more expensive than what is generally in the market,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
they see the value in it.
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
employees being
yeah.
there, the experience is heightened, and
Uh-huh,
ultimately,
uh-huh,
just the overall environment that they provide for
uh-huh.
their employees is so
Yeah,
much better. So they recognize that.
yeah. Na pressure ako with what you're saying. Guys, King Kong Realty guys, will work towards that direction, ha, of having that comfortable office space for you. Okay, Sia G, thanks for explaining to us the office market. But after our break, we will be talking again to G to talk to him about, eto mas rosy to eh, mas rosy pa to sa kulay ng damit ko. Yung logistics, yung warehouse, yung industrial market of the property sector, because it's emerging. It has already emerged before, and it's even more in demand now. So before we go on to the break, however, we would like to invite everybody. Hey, you! If you have any questions that you'd like to ask our guest, Mr. G. Espinosa, please post it on the comment section. Nandito sa baba sa comment section. Because if you're the first commenter of your question, mas gusto yata nila yung mga trivia pa eh. You'll get to win Revamp Makati's Emerging Cities New Wave of Real Estate Growth in the Philippines webinar na merong 4 CPD units for us brokers. Ha? Ano pang gusto nyo? You just attend this and you get four CPD units already. This is going to be held on September 23, 2021. That's a Thursday in the morning. So simply post your question on the comment section and you'll get to win this webinar from Revamp Makati. All right, so we'll be back. Just hang on to your seats. Let's go to our few sponsors first. Grabe, nakaka-chill talaga yung bagong soundtrack natin eh. So, parang Saturday afternoon. Yes, chill music. You're back at Realty Realties. Sorry, did I say it wrong? Yes, it's Realty Realities on TNC. So, we're talking to Mr. G. Espinosa. If you guys have questions for him, please post it on the comment section. But since wala pa. I want to give out that webinar to the second person who answered our trivia question correctly. All right. So the emerging cities new wave of real estate growth in the Philippines will go to Miss Mary Ann Reyes. So congratulations. All right, let's bring back Sir G. I have a few more questions to ask him. Eto, sige. Habang while you're coming back, G. Okay, go muna, Sir G. I said, well, in your slide, it said that they're emerging sector. So, nandun yung industrial market. And you said that there is demand for it. I wasn't able to capture how many in terms of square footage people are looking for, or what is the demand for warehouses. Did I capture it? Did I see it there, or would you know gaano kalaking warehouse um, demand is there?
Quite big, King. On an average basis, I mean, I said this last episode, we're seeing 30, 50,000 square meters of spaces coming from our clients that, they would want to sign up for, to do leases with.
Sa inyo pa lang yan, Gia, yung 30, 50,000. That's
No,
only
but that's
CBRE
reflective of
clients.
no, but that's reflective of what's generally
Okay,
going around
okay.
in the market, King. Um, you know, Ultimately, what you see out there, as I said during the last episode, is just raw land.
Mm-hmm.
Karamihan ng available na spaces would be either too small or too old. So hopefully that changes over the next year or so,
Uh-huh,
because
uh-huh.
we're hoping that with the availability of spaces, it fuels further growth in this emerging sector.
Oh, okay. Oh, yan. Yung Rolands na yan, Rolands. And offline, I said, um, even after the first episode, no, I sent you a question saying, is there an opportunity for investors, diba? For investors who might not own any warehouse or any raw land for that matter in the three areas that you're saying. You're saying Calaba, no? Cavite, Laguna, Batangas are the hot areas. So halimbawa, can I come into a picture like the investor and say, oh, sir owner of a Roland, we have a client who's looking for a warehouse. Kaso, lote ka lang. Can I come into the picture and develop that warehouse and come into partnership with you?
Oh yeah, we're
Is that
seeing
something that's happening right now?
Yeah, we're seeing quite a few of that already in the market at this stage.
Mm.
Primarily because, King, tulad nga ng sinabi ko, there's really nothing much that's available for clients. In fact, there are I mean, even foreign investors coming in, funds
Okay.
looking to partner or to do JVs with some of the local developers here.
Uh-huh,
That's
uh-huh.
already happening. Conversations are happening. Our capital markets team is actually already facilitating some of those questions because they recognize that, I mean, this is the opportunity for them to diversify their investment portfolio.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They could do that not just for office, but for data centers and for industrial and logistics, requirements, property.
How do we work on this? Say for example, do you have a listing of these raw lands that are viable for warehouses, and then I can come in knocking at CBRE to ask, hey, G, I have this amount of cash to develop it to a warehouse. Pwede ba akong ano?
Sure. Yeah.
Pwede yun?
While we're being live, I encourage for those of you who really want to participate, now is the best time to do it. Get in touch with our capital markets head, Sheila Sanchez.
Mm,
She'll readily be able to provide you the assistance and the guidance, point you to the right directions.
yeah, Sheila Sanchez. If you want to get Sheila Sanchez's contact number, you might want to get in touch with King Gonzalez.
Yes,
I
reach
I
out that
hear
to Gig Gonzalez.
I heard he's a warm person and very approachable. Tapos yung number niya 0917 803-2552. Or if you want me to reach out to you or si King Gonzalez, mag-comment lang po kayo sa comment section if you have raw lands to offer or if you're an investor looking to invest into a warehouse, di ba? Tapos at saka natin i-offer sa mga clients ng CBRE. Benepisyo ko naman yun as host of the show, no? Check ko muna
Sige
dun sa
lang.
producer. I think that's my benefit. We don't earn anything from this. We just do this out of passion so that people learn about what's there. Okay, so any other thing that you'd like to discuss with regards to industrial markets? You're open to to talk to our viewers.
No, well, I mean, we spoke about all of the vacancies in the market. Is now a bad time to be in the real estate sector? I really don't think so, King. I mean, just the fact that us as a company, we're poised to grow further this year. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean to say that with all
Nice.
of this slowdown in the office sector, it means that real estate companies won't have the opportunity to grow. Magbabago lang yung mga deals, transactions that you handle. That's per growth for real estate companies at this time, but opportunities are there, and it's really just up to you to really approach it in a creative manner, in an aggressive manner. So I mean, I really just want to stress that, because ultimately it boils down to that. For us to go back to growth mode again, we have to think outside of the box. We can't just simply focus on what has happened in the past. We have to look
Mm-hmm.
forward,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that we listen properly to what occupiers are asking for,
Mm-hmm.
know the industry and the business that most of our client occupiers are in, so that ultimately you can provide that solution to them, and you create transactions always.
Ayan. Just in addition to that, also watch Realty Realities because you get your infos, di ba? Yung mga secrets that you don't get the CBRE country head in the show or in some of your webinars or eto ano to pinapalabas live and we ask the questions that some of the webinars don't ask.
Pero King,
So
if I
yeah,
could just add one thing,
go.
if there's one thing that I'm really seeing that's positive here during the last two episodes that I've joined you,
Yeah.
it's the fact that you're really making an effort to professionalize the real estate profession. It's really heartwarming to see that you're encouraging brokers to continue to do the craft, and
Mm-hmm.
continue to push for doing deals and transactions in the market. In fact, just the fact that you're offering these webinars to brokers at this time, it's really really good, because
Yeah.
this is such a great industry to be a part of. I've
Yeah.
been at the beneficial end of it for the past 2 decades, and I
Yeah.
hope that you continue to do that, because we really need more talent in the industry.
Thank you, G. Well, because that's precisely why TNC was born. It was born out of passion, so that people be the new you, right? So it's about learning, and the advocacy also of Realty Realities is that we get well informed, hindi lang sellers but also well informed buyers and ahentes, 'di ba? That even the ahentes who would want to be accredited as salespersons, we're also promoting and encouraging them that it's the easiest way to be a salesperson now because it's all on webinars. So
Yep.
that's why we're also giving out mga free salesperson trainings here in the show. So watch out for our next episodes. So thank you, G. Thank you for the kind words and most especially for the insights that we could not have gotten had we read it from somewhere or researched it, we got it straight from the country's best real estate firm for 2021, CBRE. So that's all the time we have. And because of your participation again, Mr. G, you get for yourself your second bottle na of the
Thank
linen
you so
mist.
much.
Pero papa offline, I'll let you choose because they have a lot of different products. Who am I talking to you about? It's WJH Home and Body Essentials. Smells good in your sala, smells good also on in your bedroom. So you'll get to pick those. If you'd like to know some more of their products, just go on to their Facebook page. It's WJH Home and Body Essentials. So hindi lang WJH ang papasalamatan, hindi lang si Mr. G, but Mr. G, palakpakan po natin siya.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'd like to thank also our sponsors, especially, Vista Blue Chips Marketing. That's care of Miss Cheryl Sanguyo. Vista Blue Chips Marketing is part of the Vista Land Global Sales Network. I got it right for the first time around. And we'd also like to thank www.spaceformybiz.com. It's the only free marketplace or free website for us brokers and agents to post our listings. You could just easily log in, magre-register pa yata. You need to register your account, build your account, and then right away you can post your listings there. And if you're also a person looking for spaces to lease or to buy, you can just go type in www.spaceformybiz.com. Who else do we need to thank? We'd also like to thank you, our viewers, especially those who said, uy, they're watching. Miss Cho Lito Esplana from Tarlac, all the way from Tarlac, for Miss Marianne Reyes, who also joined our contest. And we also have Mr. Jello Estrada, all the way from Raha, Singapore, from Singapore. Maraming salamat. Uy, Miss Ange Kavungkit, because 5:30, okay, meron pa katayong time. 5:30 is the marketplace. So just grab onto after our show, just grab onto your water or go for a break, go back to TNC and catch all the different shows, especially the marketplace, which is at 5:30 on Saturdays. Can we bring up all the different shows as well? Yeah, while we're at it, let me just read. What is TNC? Why are you guys here? Or why are we here in the first place? Because we are a live stream platform of online shows for people on the go. We are inviting you to watch all of our shows, not just Realty Realities, but also the Marketplace, but also YOLO, and the host of different shows we have. We aim to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, original, and uplifting content. Our mission is to become a community where passionate people accept each other, share inspiration, and promote positive transformation. Our vision is to be a global 24/7 live stream channel that showcases Filipino talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. Of course, don't forget to always watch and support COVID Stories. COVID Stories is where we get inspiration from those who got COVID, and then they rise back just how we should, no? Which is live every Saturdays at 10:30. Realty Realities, of course, 4 p.m. every Saturdays. You can also go back to our replays. Ito nga yung kagandahan ng the new channel. You could always go back to the replays by hashtag TNC or hashtag the new channel or hashtag TNC now to see what transpired if you missed this show. Diba? 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 Okay. Did I miss anything? Let me just... Sorry. Okay. So that's it. It's 5:05. I'm beyond my schedule, so would like to thank everybody again for being in the show, for learning a lot about real estate in the country. God bless you, keep you strong, keep you free of any sickness, especially COVID, and we'll leave you with positive vibes with music from the dawn. Thank you, everybody. Peace.
Bago bumangon sa umaga, hingang malalim at panalangin muna. Maingay ang isipan, puso'y kumakaba, may sagot